Welcome back to the bridge. Oh my God, we are here. It is January 21st, 2026, and we are excited to have you with us today. And listen, we have special guests coming today. And right now, I want you to get ready as I introduce you to our new Lakeland City Commissioner, Mr. Terry Coney. Thank you for joining me. Y'all, don't go anywhere. Stop where you are. Don't move. Come right back. Oh, it's going to be a special segment. Back to the bridge. I'm introducing you to everyone that have yet to meet you and those who know you. Mr. Terry Coney, our new city commissioner. Welcome to the bridge. How are you today?
I'm very well, Nicole. Thank you.
I'm so excited to have you. I've been looking for you. I want to just tell you right now, congratulations on your success as becoming our new city commissioner, and as well as being the previous president of the NAACP. So how you been doing today?
I've been doing well. It's
awesome.
been somewhat a busy day, but in the last probably 2 weeks or so, they've all been busy days.
Oh, well, I expect that it would be. And we're right now dealing with a whole lot of special things in the world. And then it being MLK week, Martin Luther King Jr. birthday celebration week. How did that work for you? Did you do anything special?
I did. I had the opportunity to attend the MLK King and Queen Gala
Really?
out at Lake Crago, the City of Lakeland's Lake Crago facility. Mr. Sylvester Little and Mrs. Latha Murphy Speed were honored as King and Queen of the 2026 MLK Parade. That was a great event. It was a black tie event.
Awesome.
People were dressed and looking sharp, so it was a great event. And then Saturday, I had the opportunity to ride on the City of Lakeland float. We were pretty much at the front. I had my wife and granddaughter on the float with us.
Special.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was really good. Sunday, I attended St. Mark United Methodist Church, and Reverend Dr. Larry Rankin, who's the current chairperson of the Religious Affairs Committee for the NAACP Lakeland branch. He was the featured speaker there. He gave a wonderful message.
Awesome.
And then Monday morning, I had the opportunity to attend the MLK prayer breakfast at the Dream Center, where Reverend Dr. Rhonda Edwards just laid down an awesome message.
Oh, I'm so sorry I missed it.
So yeah, my heart is full. The one thing I really try to emphasize during the King Week and weekend is that we have to continue to educate our young people
Yes, we do.
on the message of Dr. King, what he was really about. You know, everybody knows the little tagline, wants to be judged by the content of my character and not the color of my skin. And I often tell people, I say that was like the ice cream and cake. That was the dessert of that speech. You have to go back and listen to the beginning of his speech. You have to, I often recommend our young people go read his message that was in his letter from a Birmingham jail to really learn what Dr. King was about.
Yes.
I mean, he was an awesome orator, but he also wrote well. He traveled. He was a man that really took in from others. He learned his whole message of nonviolence. He actually went to India and studied Mahatma Gandhi.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yes. I'm very
it wasn't just by happenstance that he came up with that. And as we move forward and teach out, we don't have to reinvent the wheel every time.
No, we don't.
No, the world and other people and scholarly and smart people have been around for a long time. But if we take time and read, we can learn from others' message.
That is so beautiful and it's so wonderful and it is so poignant because right now we are working to teach our children the importance of reading and just the importance of knowing their history. And to be honest with you, I've been sitting back watching and I want to be more influential as it relates to sharing that information, especially in our churches and in our homes. We cannot just expect the education system to teach them our history. We have to teach them our history. And I love the passion that you have for that. So can you tell me what made you decide to become a city commissioner? What drove you to it?
Well, in actuality, it really wasn't on my bucket list. And really becoming president in ACP Lakeland branch wasn't on my bucket list. But God places you where you're needed at the right time.
That's right.
And so I'll go way back. I grew up in Lakeland for my first 21 years. Then I went off, I graduated from Rochelle High School. After I graduated high school, I went to Florida A&M University, the Florida A&M University. Strike.
Wow, cats. Go ahead, I ain't being interrupted.
We won't get into that competition. No, I'll leave the little kitty cats alone.
I love my rattlers. Go ahead.
Yeah, we'll leave the kitty cats alone. But anyway, during that time, early 70s, we had a little thing called the Vietnam War conflict going on.
Yes.
And unfortunately, I actually got drafted 2 weeks after I graduated from college. And a lot of young people don't know what the draft is now.
That's right.
But at that time, and a lot of countries around the world still have a military draft where if you're physically fit and of age, you're required to do at least 2 years in that country's military. So I got drafted, and I remember just like it was yesterday, I'd been on a trip with my uncle, taking a young lady up to Virginia. She was going to school at Virginia State, and he worked for this doctor, and he took her stuff up there. So I rode up there with him and got her all set up in the dorm. And got back home, my dad was sitting out in the driveway and said, "Hey, you got some mail?" And I looked up, and sure enough, it was that draft notice. So my dad's youngest brother and my mother's youngest brother had recently retired from the Air Force. So they said, "You have if you can get in the Air Force officer training program," because during that time, if you got drafted, if you didn't get selected by another branch, you were going in the Army.
Oh boy.
And probably 85 to 90% of the guys during that time, if you went in the Army, you end up going over
several family members.
to Vietnam. So I went and talked to the Air Force recruiter. I took the tests, and it was really one of the toughest tests I had taken at the time, and it was like taking the SAT over again. And it
all
was
that information.
And at that time, I had to go to Tampa, to the federal building in Tampa, and take it because they didn't give the test in Lakeland. And it was a 6-hour test, and they timed it the same way, and it was freezing cold in the building. And fortunately, I'd taken my last 2 quarters/semesters a statistic course, and I did pretty good in that course, and there was a lot of math on the test. And the recruiter got the results back and called me, "I need you to come in, I got your test results." And he said, "Come on in, Alan." And he said, "There's good news and bad news." I said, "Okay, what's the good news?" He said, "You did well on the test." And then he said, "But you, in order to be a pilot, you would have had to have 20/20 vision, but you can still fly." I said, "Oh, okay," because I'd worn glasses since I was in 8th grade. He said, "But you can go to navigator training programs and navigate." And said, "Well, I knew about Magellan and all them people from way back, and Columbus and how they got around." So
so you know all that stuff about compasses and all that.
I Yeah, I used to some I forgot, but yeah, I still remember the basics.
That's
I still remember the basics. But anyway, I ended up going because I got the notice so late, and they had to get me into the Air Force at a certain time. I ended up doing 3 weeks of regular basic training, then I went to officer training because it was all in the same base complex
How long
at
did you
Lackland Air
serve
Force
in the
Base.
military?
I was totally in the Air Force for 22 years.
22 whole years.
22 years. So I spent.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Now, when you got out of the military,
Mm-hmm.
you went straight to the NAACP?
No, no. Uh, in '91, I was stationed in North Dakota,
Okay.
and Desert Storm was just wrapping up.
Yeah,
Desert Storm wrapped up in '91.
I had a couple of friends who went.
That's what I call a
Storm.
made for TV war, quick.
Oh,
And
yeah, it was.
but anyway, I got an assignment going to Guam over in the Western Pacific.
Yes.
And I kind of had a plan. I was deputy commander of a security police group in North Dakota. We had 3 squadrons and a little over 1,000 people that fell up on our unit, and I was number 2 in charge of that. So I got an assignment going to Guam, and I was going to be the chief of security police over there. And over there, Guam's a big,
Bit different.
yeah, Guam's a big refueling depot. It's also the most, at that time, it was called where America's Day begins, because you're on the other side of the international date line. So, and I had, I think, a little close to 350 people that I was responsible for. And we provided airfield security, on-base law enforcement. We had a satellite tracking station that we were responsible for. So it was good. It was a good experience. And I went unaccompanied because I had a daughter that was in college at the time, and I had 2 younger kids. So my daughter was in school at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. So my wife was a nurse, so she got a job at Duke University Medical Center, and my kids started school there. And one thing about military kids, I say they're resilient, because my oldest daughter, she started school in North Carolina, then went to Northern Michigan, and then California. And
And what do you call the military kids? Because you go from city to city
Yeah,
like that?
yeah. And we left California at the end of her 10th grade year, which she didn't want to go. She left screaming and
kicking. By
kicking.
my friends, man.
Yeah, but as it turned out, you know, she made more friends, so she ended up graduating from high school in North Dakota. And we had family that came up and for graduation, so that was good. And when I went over to Guam, a couple of key things happened. Within two weeks, week and a half of me getting there, there was an Air Force base in the Philippines, Clark Air Force Base, and it was right at the base of this mountain. And the mountain had an inactive volcano. It hadn't erupted in 400 or 500 years. And just so happened at that time, it started to erupt. And, well, it was what I said, burping. And so they moved all the Air Force personnel down to the Navy base. And they thought they would get to go back. And I'd seen people go through disaster situations before, but that volcano ended up erupting, so they had to move everybody out of there. So they set up this rotation where they start flying all the people to our base in Guam. And we had to set up initial processing, then holding areas, and then a departure area. So we basically like an airport. And but it was really the first time that I've been involved with a situation where you literally see people that came there that all they had were the clothes on their back. Because when they left their homes, they thought they were just going to be down at the naval base temporarily and they get to go home. And I saw pictures and it just looked like the surface of the moon. Everything was gray and ashy. And then I had a situation where I lost 2 members of my unit while I was there. One young man, they were doing a cash pickup and was making a money drop at a bank. Nighttime money drop, and they got ambushed and the guy got hit in the head and killed. And then I had a 19-year-old young lady. We were having a training exercise with Marines, and they used the wrong explosive, active explosive versus training, and it exploded near the bunker she was at, and it just tore a big gash in her leg, and from the dirt getting in there, it caused infection. And to this day, the hardest thing I've ever had to do was call a parent to tell them that their kid had been injured critically and probably wasn't going to live. And we were probably about 7.5 hours west of Hawaii. And I had to go to, our headquarters was in Hawaii, and I had to go there for a conference. And I debated whether I was going to go after that accident, so I went, but I went. So, and the family, the young lady was from Oregon. So, and the parents were able to get a free flight from San Francisco, well, from Oregon down to San Francisco into Hawaii. And when they got there, I was going to meet them. And as things turned out, it was good that I met them, because the flight that they were supposed to get on, they said had no more seats. So I actually spoke to the people from the airline. I said, look, you need to get them on that flight. It was an emergency. I said, their daughter has been injured, and we're not sure whether she's going to make it. So they know. So they made an announcement, and some people got off so they could have a seat. And as it turned out, the young lady passed, but they got there to see her before she passed.
That's why I love our military. I know that they give up so much of themselves.
Yeah.
This is one of the reasons why, it's so important to just like love on our people and encourage our people during these times, because life is not promised. So if we hadn't been there, they wouldn't have been.
No, they wouldn't have gotten on the plane. They probably wouldn't have saw their daughter. But fast forward, I got out of the Air Force, retired. I lived in Durham, North Carolina for 19, almost 20 years before I came back here.
I like Carolina.
And my mom,
nice.
and my mom, who had been an educator for 36 years, she got sick. She came down with Parkinson, and they call it probably a combination of Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. And I was coming back and forth, and with my sister and I got a 24-hour in-home care person, because my mom didn't want to leave home. And we're fortunate, between her education retirement and Social Security and some other things, we were able to afford that. And I had made a decision to move back here, and unfortunately, she passed 6 weeks after I moved back. And my mother was very active even after she retired from teaching. She worked with kids, she tutored. She was an advocate for kids that got in trouble in court. And my sister, I just said, well, you just picked up where mom left off.
That's awesome.
So how I got engaged with the NAACP, I had a childhood friend. He had come to my mother's funeral, and he told me, he said, well, his name was Harold Silas. He said, I'm going to run for president of the NAACP. He was the vice president. He said, I want your support. But in order for you to support me or vote for me, you got to join. And I'd been a member of the NAACP when I was in North Carolina. And my membership had become inactive. So I renewed it. And my mom passed in February. And then in August of that year, I got a call that he had passed. He had a heart attack on the highway. He and his wife were coming back from a family reunion. And he had a heart attack near Pensacola and passed. So the next meeting, I went to the NAACP meeting and said, hey, I made Harold a promise, so I'm here. And since he couldn't run, there was a gentleman that was the treasurer. His name was Reginald Artis, and he ended up becoming the president. So he asked me to be a part of his leadership team, executive committee. So I headed up the education committee, and I did some things to ACT prep courses, SAT prep courses, show parents how to get money to get their kids in school, even talk about the process. Because even in 2025, 2026, we still have kids that are going to college that are first in their family to go.
That's right.
And you have, because parents haven't attended college, they don't understand the process. And I often tell them that getting your kids in college is not like just taking them to kindergarten or preschool and signing them up. I said it's a competitive process, you know, from having your grades up to taking the right tests and taking it and having the right courses that you need. And so we got through that, and Reginald became sick, and unfortunately he's passed in the last couple of years, and so he had to step down, and he asked, you know, several people, would you be willing to step in and become president? I said, well, I don't think I want to do that.
Why not?
And he finally reached out to me and said, look, you know, you got all the leadership training from the military, and, you know, you can do this job.
How long did you do it for?
A little over 4 years.
So you
Started
did that
in
4 years.
2021.
And so now you're our city commissioner.
Now I'm city commissioner.
And now, from NAACP, which was, we were dealing with this, now you're the city commissioner.
Right.
Tell me, you know, briefly, some of the things that you would like to see and have done as in the position of city commissioner.
Well, when I became president in ACP, I made it my business to build a relationship with the city officials, because some people have a misconception of what NACP is about.
Right.
You know, and I went to city commission meeting and I said, look, this is our mission, to secure the economic, social, political equality of rights for all people. Well, in the city, you want people to feel like they are a part of the city, that their city works for them. And the good thing I like about local government, municipal government, is that when you run for office, you don't have to have an R or a D by, or even an I by your name. It's nonpartisan. So you're not doing whatever you're doing based on a political platform. Your service is to the citizens of the city.
Yes.
And that will be my focus. Now, the district I represent is northeast Lakeland.
Okay.
So it starts around, well, now south of Main Street, because the districts have been redrawn. So
Right.
so down around North Crystal Lake Road.
I know where you are.
And east of Highway 98, going to Lake Park that way, and north up to along Slocum Loop to Markham. But that's the district I represent, and you have to live in that district. But I'm still the commissioner for all of the city.
That's right.
So it's important to listen to what the citizens think are important. And then it's also important to explain some of the priorities of the city and money, how the priorities come to how the city budgets and money.
Right.
But along with that, you know, the city has a 10-year plan, and they send out petitions for people to fill out. Well, if you don't fill that out, then whatever your particular interest is probably not going to be heard or seen. So you have to be engaged.
One of the most important things that I like to share with people is that you really need to understand your local government. You need to know how it works. Your city commissioners and all the things that you have that can work for you here locally first. and then you worry about the big things later. But your votes do matter. And so do not, for 1 minute, look at the world for what it is and not put your vote out there, not think that you are worthy of getting what you want. Your votes matter. So before we end our interview, because I'm going to have you come back to me, I want you to tell us so much more. I know we're running out of time because I got to move on. However, though, since you have been the city commissioner, right?
Mhm.
You've only been there a couple of weeks,
Right.
right? Have you seen any of our young people coming to you asking questions? Do they seem excited when they see you, that they realize that they have someone who looks like them in the position of city commissioner? It still matters now.
It's interesting you asked that. I spoke to some younger kids at Girls Inc. last week, and I
Mhm.
explained they have a reading program every month on the second Wednesday at Girls Inc. and the third Wednesday at Simpson Park.
Okay.
In fact, if I wouldn't have had this engagement, I probably would have been at Simpson Park. But, so instead of reading, one of the ladies said, well, this time since you just took over a new job, explain to them what your new job is.
Mm-hmm.
So I explained my job as a city commissioner and local, then I talked about state government and what people do at the state level and at the federal level. But you also want people to know that the most important level that really affects you the most is at the local level.
That's right.
You know, from your electric bill, your water bill, your streets, even school board. It affects your kid's education and what's provided for them. So if you don't vote, and and I learned this early on because I grew up through the civil rights movement,
Yes.
but my dad always stressed to me, if you don't vote, you can't complain.
That's true.
And then and I noticed one of the questions you asked me, how can people learn about government or their local government? Come to city commission meetings, because when I was president of NACP, I made it you have city commission meetings on the first and third Monday of every month.
Really?
They start at 9 a.m. at City Hall on the third floor. So just come in and sit in and see what's discussed.
It's open to the public.
It's open to the public.
Okay.
And you don't even have to be a citizen of the city of Lakeland, or you can live outside, but come and sit in and you can see how businesses run. I often told people when I was in
Awesome.
NACP and we were voting, and I said, I'm a military guy. We didn't deal with parliamentary procedure. You got an order down, and you pass that on, and whatever that order was or whatever that command was, that was your mission to get that accomplished.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, I want to first thank you for coming in and talk to me today. I'm going to bring more attention to you because I'm going to be working with people to see if we can come to your city commission meetings, okay? I want young people to be exposed to what we have going on in Lakeland and all around the Polk County area. I want you to be encouraged and motivated to step into something that you're not comfortable with. Moms, dads, I need you to talk to your kids about our local government and where their power really stands. And most importantly, don't forget to share the word of God. So thank you for coming in. Is there a way for people to contact you? I know you said you was working on your webpage, so if people want to look you up and make contact with you and also donate, how would they do that?
I have an email address through the city, which is terry.coney at lakelandgov.net.
Okay.
Or they can reach me through my other email address, which is terry@terryconey.com.
Mm-hmm.
Or they can go through the City of Lakeland switchboard and reach my office or secretary up there and leave a message.
Okay.
But I'm always open to talk to people. I attend neighborhood association meetings,
Okay.
different business organization meetings. So I'm easy to get to.
That's awesome. Well, now listen, y'all. I want y'all to support our new city commissioner in every way you can. He's provided to you all the contact information, and we will also post it. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining the bridge with me today. And we're going to have you back very soon. You can tell me more about what we're doing in the city. If there's any critical junctures that's coming up that we need to get out and vote for, you're going to tell me all about it so I can share it with y'all, okay?
I will do that.
All right, listen. Don't go nowhere. We're about to end this segment, but the next segment is going to be on fire too, because I got Mr. Spunky Robinson joining me. So don't go nowhere. Stay right there. Come right back.